Good morning, students. Today, in terms of standard 10 applied history, chapter 3, we will try to understand the importance of public history. Last time we studied as a part or matter of history how historiography started to develop. The development of history was in two different sections, one European, another related to India. The history of the Europe in terms of Renaissance, we have studied that it starts somewhere from 6th to 16th century, whereas in terms of India it was from 8th to 18th century. But while doing so, we also tried to understand or we also understood some of the important aspects of history as they are always mentioned. One and most important, there is no connectivity, there is no relativity, there is no interrelationship between God and man. Today, in terms of history, we will try to understand this only. If history is totally of man and men matter, then it is also the other side that whatever we are going to study is related to man. Man is at the center of history. Yes, in the previous chapters till today we have studied history as a study of or as a study and story of the royal kings, their ports, their battlefields and the struggle they acquired, losing or winning, the victories and the battles of the royal kingdoms families. Slowly, with the changing trend, as the world started to develop, we also understood the importance of market. And it was in the terms when Europe was suffering from the shortage of food grains and at the same time population of Europe was increasing. Slowly people from England, Spain, Portugal and Italy started moving out of England. In this search, there was also a time from 10th to 12th century, we also call it a crusade, which was a war for the religious battle in Europe and Arabia, and that blocked the route from Europe towards India, that is through Mediterranean Sea route. This brought about a various change, a drastic change in European context first and then the whole world over. The world itself, whatever we experience it today, is the gift of industrialization. But prior to industrialization, if we try to understand, was also a matter of man and trade. The trade that was continued by the Europeans from India and Indian subcontinent towards Europe was overtaken by the Arabs. And these Arabs' prosperity challenged the sole existence of Europeans. Naturally, they have to come out, they have to struggle, and for the first time they started to find out the new sea route to India. This is more important for our study because we are going to study public history. Public history means the matters that are concerned with public, the matters that are concerned with man. Whatever that have taken place, whatever the stories that will be going on will be in reality as they happen. Though many of the stories will not have any proof. But the changes that brought about, but the changes that came about are in this sense. First, with the development of the man, and all know that as man started to wander from one place to another, slowly domesticating the animal, and then with the livestock he was having, moved from one place to another, he needed fodder and water, himself for himself as well as the animals. Doing so, for the fodder, that is the grasslands, he moved from one place to another and slowly came to know that there are certain areas in the world where there is abundance of water. Availability of water itself satisfied the need of fodder, that is grass. So the grasslands that were having abundance of the grass, these people started to settle down there for a longer duration that gave rise to agriculture. And this agriculture brought about a unique change in the behavior or the cultural ties of the man and mankind. The people, as they started to settle down at a single place and discovered how agriculture can be done, Today we call it agriculture, but at that time, as they knew the art of growing the seeds for the crops, for the fruits they needed, was one of the biggest achievement in terms of science. Again, keep it in mind, there is no connectivity with God or spiritual energy with man. Whatever the struggles that the history achieved in terms of man's life is the struggle that man struggled throughout his life to gain something, to be much more better in his life. So first and foremost we have to understand the philosophy. What exactly we will try to understand in philosophy? If we go with the timeline, we will find that in the beginning, that is far apart from near about 6 to 7,000 years back, in 5, 6, 7,000 BC, we will come to know that there was only and only the most important part in terms of understanding the origin of all ideologies. Whatever today we have, the various subjects we are studying have their origin in philosophy. Philosophy is said to be the mother of all sciences. And if we try to understand that, we come to know that the biggest asset man is having language. The communication skill he is having is of utmost importance because of this communication skill, he is trying to understand more and more. The communication skill that the man had is of most importance because it is here that they gave orally whatever the experiences they have to the next generation. This was the beginning of the stories. The oral part, though it is. But here also the study we are going to have in terms of philosophy. Philosophy is the human behavior with the origin of all ideologies. Ideologies in terms of whatever the man's experience they were having. They communicated it with their next generation, and then the next generation carried it on to the next generation. Now this is how slowly the first part of public history started. Public history is always related with the people in originality. Whatever the practices that are going on, whatever the behavior pattern or the style or the culture as we call it, is related with public history. It's not only about the past, it is also about the present. Today you and me can be a part of public history, and this is the most biggest asset or the study we are going with from here, that is applied history. After that, after going with the philosophy, definitely philosophy is the study of if and but, the causes that are having. But with the philosophy, slowly we come to know that people also started moving from one region to another. People also had many of the difficulties that they faced, and they tried their best to overcome it. Overcoming these difficulties was the beginning of the science. Science is nothing but pure knowledge. Whatever the struggle the people were having is, and it is, what is exactly the science? Science is the cause-effect chain. Cause-effect chain leading to the discoveries and inventions. What are these discoveries? For example, when we study about India's relation in terms of trade and commerce with Europe, we have come to know that after the fall of Constantinople, as the Arabs captured today's Istanbul, the route to India or Indian subcontinent from Europe was blocked. Europeans started to suffer on two different levels. One, the demand, whatever they were having about the food grains and the other articles, at the same time the prosperity. So to overcome it, they moved to find out the other sea route, because at that time Bible told that the world is round and there are only two areas, landforms, Europe and India. So the other side they started to move, and the discoveries in name of USA. Today we call it USA. In 1492 we come to USA or America. The struggle that the people were having, but whatever it may be, as it comes to know that it was USA and not India, suddenly there was again a great efforts to find new route to India, and then the southern tip of Cape of Good Hope, as we call it, was also a new discovery. After that, again we move further and Vasco da Gama's visit to India 1498 gave a new sea route or the discovery to India. So now from Europe one can move towards the west, that is American continent. One can go towards the south, that was Africa, the tip of Africa, we call it Cape of Good Hope, and from there towards India, the Mediterranean Sea route that was blocked now was having new. Now new route brought about new inventions. What these inventions were? The time it was during that period was a vast time, months used to take to come to India. And again moving back from India was a very difficult task. So the invention started. Now this is how discoveries and invention. Need is the main cause of discoveries. And the ideas, the philosophies which we have about our own knowledge, putting into practice, we get inventions. This is the cause-effect chain. Cause, because Europeans lost their contact with Indian subcontinent, discoveries was needed. And its effect, with the discoveries, they increase the speed, they increase the race to move to the destination, and that was the inventions. The boats, the ships that were related only up to the cloth or the wind that was used to move the speed of the ship or a boat was slowly overtaken by steam engine, power, and then today as it is. This is how the cause-effect chain we have to understand with terms of whatever the knowledge we are having. After that, the technology. When we study about the inventions, that the ship speed started to increase, that is what we call it technology. How it came into being. Industries were set up. Factories were set up, factories started, and with that, the output, the production of the industries that was to accumulate was to be sold somewhere else. Selling of these units brought about a stiff competition in European countries. Definitely, they were the backbone of the industrialization at that time, and when Europe come in contact with the other parts of the world, they needed assured market, and this market was the colony of their own. This is what capitalism is. Imperialism that was slowly converted to capitalism. Capitalism, the market or the colonies became an assured market for these European nations. Because of that, what happened? The technology tells the relativity between development of mechanism and mutual dependence. This is how man and machine started to interdepend on each other. Without machine, today we are in the age of revolution where without machine we cannot exist. Just for example, we can have this view in our own life and then we can come to know what exactly public history is. History definitely will tell you about the past, but its relativity is with present today, what we are, and we can understand its future. Definitely, all can say that how it will going to change because of this corona effect, and we are here in a standstill mode throughout the world. Work from home is a new concept which is gaining most important and also being put to practice. When it is being put to practice, it tells the relativity about the development of machines or mechanism and mutual dependence between science and technology. Because of this, many inventions coming forth and giving a soft hand or a luxurious life mode to the people, how they can overcome all these difficulties. Overcoming the difficulties is the part of science, putting it into practice is the part of technology. We know that man has abundant of ideas in his own concepts, but putting them to practice is termed technology. Beginning from the fan to coolers and AC, or whatever the cold storage we have to preserve the things for a longer duration. The food articles, the fruits, the vegetables for a longer duration is a part of technology, but has its existence in science. And this we can understand with philosophy. Keep it in mind, interlinked. They are not apart from each other, they are connected to each other. Though in subject matter they differ, but all these are the subject matter of public history. History is not only the story of the king. History is not only the stories of the royal courts and their struggles, but also the struggle common man is having in his day-to-day life and overcoming all these things. After that, that is the advent of the technologies, or as we know, because of the development of science and its relativity, that the man started to develop or depend more on technology, industries and commerce started to. These industries and commerce is a matter that change every day. According to the need, the articles or the things that are available in the market gain their own importance. That means the prices rise and fall down. All this is something which we have to understand. And this nature of market can be created artificially. That is the biggest essence of history. We can understand if we know the history of the land, if we know the history of the geography of the region, if we know the history of the behavior pattern of the people, we can create the need among the people. This is what is most important in terms of commerce. Because markets do change, and they change according to the climate, according to the economic prosperity, according to the education, according to the need. Many times it occurs that people have money, people do need it, but people don't purchase it. Now, this is something we have to learn in terms of market. There are various reasons, there are many reasons for selling and buying. But selling and buying of a product in terms of profit is something, the nature of the market. And commerce that is always changing. We can understand this in relativity when we studied about the discoveries and invention. Discoveries of the region, getting that raw material to our own land. For example, England's biggest asset was India. From India, they captured the whole of the cotton as a raw material and sent it to England, converted it into cloth and sold that finished goods in India. Definitely, primary sector do not gain much more profit compared to the finished product or the service sector. So the secondary and tertiary sector always gain more profit compared to the primary. So being a primarily agricultural land, India could never prosper. All the nations of the world that prosper are the nations that depend more on secondary and tertiary. In terms of service sector, it is because the inventions that are being put to practice. Now, these inventions are in many forms. There are various modes which we have to understand. After that, the management. This is most important. But this is some of the latest studies that we are going to know. Latest studies means management is a part of leadership building. And then with the examples that we had from the past, time and again, people started to develop their ideologies, the philosophy. These philosophies put into practice or studied gave them the ideas about the people, how the behavior patterns. And because of that, management studies started. What exactly management studies tells us? It tells us to understand the chain for marketing and healthy commerce. Which people will be targeted? In advertisements on the television, we come to know that in many of the advertisements, small children are targeted. Though the product is not always for a small child, but children are targeted because they are the ones who remember it for the longer duration. And then they put pressure on the parents. This is how a product is ready for sale into the market. There are various advertisements in which certain section of the society do not play any role, and yet they are. That means advertisings are misleading, but creating space for purchasing, creating space for selling is the most effective management skill. And this management skill is now studied in terms of history. Historical background of a land tells us how people behaved that time, and because of it we can understand how the nature of the behavior pattern of the people is. Not only behavior pattern, even their studies, even their ideologies, even their whatever the context they come with are some of the sections we have to understand. This, and one of the biggest assets India is having, IIM in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, is the higher education system which creates students as the global leaders now in terms of management studies. We know that when we study about history, art cannot be apart from it. But what exactly art is? Expression in any art form can be understood with the help of cultural history. Keep it in mind. History is to be understood at two different levels. One, that is script or written form, and another that is oral. So oral form came first, followed by the script. Till today, we have all the proofs of the history as far as this is concerned. But oral also we have it. The great epics of the world, may it be Christianity or Hinduism, have their origin in oral form only. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bible. First they were spoken, or first they were studied and given to the next generation. They came from generation to generation till script came into being, and then one or the other or the group of the people started to write it. Same attempt was made for Bible, same was done in Hinduism, that is Ramayana and Mahabharata. We know that who are the people to whom we give the credit for the origin of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So this is how it all started, and from here onwards the man became center point. Today, irrespective of whatever we are having since our past, it reflects the culture. When we study about the oral, the most important thing we have to understand is we have the seals, we have the broken household particulars that are being excavated from Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Though a part of Pakistan now was an Indian, is known as Sindhu civilization. Sindhu civilization because some 7,000 years back, this civilization exists at its own peak, and it gives us the expression in terms of the help of cultural history. What cultural history is? The Harappan people are said to be the civilization, Sindhu civilization as we call it, are said to be the people who gave utmost credit to health and hygiene. Baths were discovered some 7 to 9,000 years back. Now, this is what is the biggest Indian gift to the world. So, health and hygiene play a major role. And about the culture, speaking about the cultural history, this tells us, though script is not available here. Script is not available, yet proofs are there, and these proofs are in forms of only whatever the excavation that we have. That is why the most part of the Mohenjo-daro and Harappan civilization is said to be in oral terms only. Don't have any proof. But whatever the evidences we are studying are whatever that we have from excavation. Till today, the script, the coins that we have found is not yet being deciphered. And in the end, we come towards the humanities. The most important part of the humanities is, keep it in mind, in the beginning we have studied that man is at the center. Here also, to speculate, to understand the relationship between universe and human existence. People at the most are the paganists in the beginning. Paganists, they were the one who attributed their overlordship, who attributed their trust, faith in nature. So definitely universe and human existence, how man came into existence. There are various stories. Bible tells us one, and some other religious books tells us the other. From origin of universe to the study of God and goddesses, but in relation to man. Common people, how as a man lead a life and slowly converted to the supernatural elements. These supernatural elements that are beyond the abilities of the man have their origin in the stories of these humanities. But history, speaking in terms of history, there should be no comparison between God and man. There is no interrelationship between God and man. Yet, studies are devoted to God. The speculations, not exactness. These are the speculations in which we tell that we are being told that, and again we tell to the next generation that how God created man and man created this nature as it is today in terms of science and technology. But there is no interrelationship of man and God in terms of historical or public history, also as we call it applied. History as an applied history, we have to understand that whatever that is applicable to day-to-day life is a part of applied history. Various schools, various colleges and various subjects are now being developed all over the world to understand this. There is an institute in Bangalore, Karnataka, termed as Srushti Institute, that tells us about or that teaches us about the study of humanities. Because of this, man comes to know his past much more better, or in terms of scientific studies, and instead means whatever the orals that are, whatever the studies that are being told to us as a part of supernatural which a common man cannot overtake is something which we have to put apart. There are many stories related to even the kings or the royal fights in which the characters are original, the characters are humans, and yet whatever the struggles they have gone through are put into in such a way as if supernatural elements assisted them. That is not the study of history. History relates only to man and man's achievements, only for man and man's behavior, only for man and man's culture. Culture, definitely a behavior pattern that carried on for a longer duration, and because of that, to speculate to understand, and this is most important. Though it's a speculation, it is to understand the relationship between universe and human existence. How universe must have changed. Darwin's theory of evolution of man tells us about the study of the universe. Not only that, apart there are also a Nobel laureate from India who got a Nobel Prize because of his study in terms of science while going to the sea. Now, whatever we study in terms of universe and its relativity to human existence is a part of today's humanities. Various subjects are being developed. Germany, France, England, Italy, and now the world over, USA and many others are studying how all this must happen. No, universe is not a small thing that we can easily understand. New discoveries are yet to be, and they are going on. So as the discoveries comes on, as the discoveries goes on, slowly we can understand the developmental process of the world. Also, here one thing we have to understand, and that is the most important. In terms of humanities, man is at the center. In public history, man is at the center. Today's history is what it is exactly today with us. Whatever is going on in the world today will be the part of history, and common man will be at the center of it. There is no place for God or supernatural elements while going through these stories. We have to study the philosophy, the science, the technology, because with the problems, with the difficulties the man faced, and they tried to solve them, is the study of the struggle of a man. Yes, history always takes heed of the struggles of the man. And it is here that we have to understand all the greatness, all the struggle, all the achievements man has made. And it's not a day's part. Everyday's life can be included, can be a part of history, because from origin of universe to the study of God and goddesses, but in relation to man is something that we have to understand as a public history. How this public history can be related to everyday life, we will try to study it in the next lecture.